Hi, my name is Cynthia Ruiz. I'm an author, professor, leadership expert, and executive coach. I also am the co-author of Cherokee Wisdom, 12 Lessons for Becoming a Powerful Leader. Let's meet my co-author.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Abraham Bearpaw. I am a Cherokee citizen from Rocky Mountain, Oklahoma. I currently live in Hemet, California, where I am the Family Perseverance Manager for a tribal TANF program. I am also a motivational speaker and a cultural activist.
So what we're doing is we're sharing some of our lessons from the book, and today we are going to be talking about being humble, humility. That is such an important part of Cherokee life. And let me give you the actual definition from the Cherokee Nation. It says humble, never boast, never think you are better or higher than anyone else. So important, but people, I don't know what happens in this country, people forget about humility. What's your definition of being humble and why is that important to you?
I definitely agree with that definition. For me, humility actually, I was confused for a lot of years. I thought that was tied to my self-esteem. So because I had a low self-esteem, at different times, I actually thought that was being humble. I didn't speak out a lot, those kind of things. I kind of had a low opinion of myself. I thought that was being humble, but it's actually the opposite. Whenever you are able to have more self-respect for yourself, act with integrity, then you're really able to show your humility by not letting accolades or things like that go to your head, where you want to put yourself above others. For myself, one of the things that got in the way of me being humble was I was insecure. So because I was insecure with myself, insecure with my abilities, I put on a front that I knew everything. I would tear other people down, because I felt like it made me feel better. And so that really got in the way of my path to humility. And then, what came later with that was I had this narcissistic view of myself. Somebody may tell me, oh, you're a good writer, or you're good at this. I, really took that, and because I had such a low self-esteem, I had to build up, some kind of, coping mechanism, some kind of front. So I would say, put myself above others, and just to make myself feel better. And so I kind of had, starting out in my life, I kind of had things backwards. And so, for me later in life, once I stopped drinking, and was able to begin to work on myself, and then later, once I became, put in, positions of leadership, I was able to really see how important humility is. For me now, being a leader, being in a position of leadership, humility comes in, every day, I feel like, and makes me a better leader. It affects my decision making. It affects the plane from where I make my decisions also. For me to take ego out of it, to be a humble person, now I make decisions for the betterment of other people, for the betterment of the group, not just myself, and I feel like, that's really, we don't get that. That doesn't come from our culture as Cherokee people or Native people. Ego and, and putting yourself, above others. Unfortunately, in Western society, you see it a lot, and it's actually accepted, and it's really, praised for you to, to act in this way. So it's kind of, counterintuitive, for Native people. So, but when you're a humble leader, it actually makes you more effective, because your team can see that you're a real person, can see that you care about others, and they can see that you have, the what is best for the team at heart, and not just what's best for yourself.
I think a lot of people misinterpret being humble and humility. They see it
Hmm.
as weakness. They say if you're a
Yes.
humble person, you're a weak person. But I'm here to
Hmm.
say that you can be humble and confident at the same
Mhm.
time. They're not
Definitely.
mutually exclusive. So
Mhm.
humility to me means that you actually are respecting others, because
Mhm.
every single person on this planet has their own journey. And I
Mhm.
respect you enough to know that your journey is your journey and mine is mine, and it doesn't make mine better than yours. It's
Mhm.
not about judging each other. It's about
Mhm.
each of us, living our own lives. But I think a
Definitely.
lot of with the ego, we always want to feel like we're better than somebody else.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, with humility, we're all the same. And just
Mhm.
because you have a job title, just because you have a certain amount of money in your bank account, whatever it is, that does not make you better than anyone
Mhm.
else. So, humility to me is really that understanding that we're all connected. We
Mhm.
all have our individual journey, and we all support and respect each other for our uniqueness instead of trying to say, I'm better than you.
Yes, definitely. And
And
I
so,
think, it's especially important now. People really need, with something as serious as the pandemic going on. And you and I talked before also about the protests that are going on, people speaking out. People, really need to feel like that their leaders are coming from a place of humility, a place of caring, that they're on the same level as everyone else. I feel like by being a humble leader and by really putting yourself out there to care about others, to bring everybody in, make everybody feel like they're acknowledged, that they're important, to put your ego aside, it really helps us to grow. By having that ego, it's a real barrier, for us to be able to connect with our fellow human beings, our fellow tribal members, our fellow team members, or family members. But when we let that ego go and we just really let ourselves, care about each other, we can accomplish a lot more and we can go a lot further. And so I'm really inspired to see, our leaders now who are stepping up, local governments, different places, our tribe, tribal council members, who are putting their ego aside and acting for the betterment of people, and of humanity. And I think, that's the way forward for us, is to, definitely approach leadership as a responsibility instead of as a perk, or as, I can better myself off, or better my family now because I have this position. Instead, to approach it with, a real sense of responsibility, to say, instead, oh, I have this position now. It's really serious, and I'm going to, take it serious, so that I can help everyone else.
very well said. And I'm really proud of Cherokee Nation and our current leadership that we've elected. Our current principal chief is Chuck Hoskins Jr., and he's an attorney by trade, but he, to me, represents humility because he's very clear that he's there to be a servant leader and serve the people. I think when you get into trouble, when people, get an elected official, whether it be in Cherokee Nation or the United States, they think that all of a sudden they have this title and they're better. And I think that, he gets it. He understands that he's elected by the Cherokee citizens. Right now, there's approximately 370,000 Cherokee citizens throughout the United States, and he realizes he's there to serve them. So I think he's a great example of leadership and a great example of how a leader can be humble.
And it's inspiring, when I see leaders in our communities, people who don't necessarily have the title of leader, but our grandmas and grandpas, aunts and uncles, or maybe some of our community leaders who have, maybe run one of the satellite Cherokee organizations. You know, it's just really inspiring to see them out doing things for others, cooking. I see them on social media, and to see people who can act like that, just in a humble manner, it really inspires me. Makes me want to get out and do things for the betterment of our people. So I really am, grateful for our current leadership. Like you mentioned, Chief, and then our tribal council who are out there working hard for us, and people who are in the administrative positions also, to making sure our tribe continues to grow during this really difficult time. So it's definitely inspiring to see.
Well, humility, being humble, is one of the lessons from Cherokee Wisdom, 12 Lessons to Becoming a Powerful Leader. Second edition is co-authored by myself, Cynthia Ruiz, and my co-author, Abraham Bearpaw. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, Wado.
Whoa.